Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Theorist, and this is something new to the channel. As you can tell, I'm already not doing my normal intro, because this is something different, something that's going to be going on for a while on this channel. It might become a weekly occurrence. I'm going to try and make it a weekly occurrence, as well as adding in my theory videos. But this will become more of a regular, instead of the theories if I can't get a theory out, because there isn't one in my head. I don't like just thinking them up and randomly out of there and like, I'll do that. So this is going to become the new norm for a while. I hope you do enjoy it. And what this is a review series on TV shows that have come out either in the last decade or 2 decades, and they're shows I really, really like. And if we get further enough down the line and you guys maybe have a different show that I haven't watched and you want me to do a review on that, I don't mind. There's a few shows in my head already that I'm thinking I haven't seen myself and I might do reviews on. But this one is on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Not the comic series though, the TV series. The one that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you haven't watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, essentially it is the show that kind of spawned the style of villain of the week ends up being a big villain at the end kind of deal. It was kind of the one that kind of brought that genre out properly. I'm not saying it's the first, but it was the one that really made that kind of the norm for those kind of shows. It is a horror, it is a comedy, it's a science fiction, it's a fantasy, it's everything rolled into one. And it's beautiful. The overall plot of the series is there's a high school girl who is fresh to this town of Sunnydale, in which Sunnydale is plagued by monsters. Vampires, werewolves, succubus, incubus, demonic gods, you name it, Sunnydale has it, because it is sitting on top of a thing called the Hellmouth. And the Hellmouth essentially is this mystical portal thing that kind of just exists in the town. You never literally see the Hellmouth, but it's always talked about. It's like this mystical bunch of energy that draws all these evil things together. And the reason Buffy has to deal with it is because she's born for it. It's her destiny. She is born with certain powers. She has superhuman strength, speed, agility. Not extreme, but enough to get her by to be able to take down vampires and demons and all sorts of things, which is clearly stronger than a normal human being. And the show goes along where they'll always set up quite early on in the season a big villain, but you won't get the big villain confrontation until about mid-season, and you won't get the one until right at the end. And then each episode will be a minor villain or a villain connected to the bigger villain. You've probably seen several shows that have that style. Buffy was kind of one of the early ones that started it. And yeah, the way we're going to do this series is we're going to have a pilot for the first episode of the season. Then we're going to do half a season for a second episode. Second half of the season for our third episode. And then the finale will have its own episode as well. And we're going to do all 7 seasons of Buffy. So it's going to work out at, 28 videos-ish? My maths correct there? 4 videos, 7 seasons. Yeah, 28 episodes, give or take. And yeah, I'm going to kind of keep the layout as simple as I can. I'll go over the plot of the episode, I will then go over my thoughts and feelings, and at the end we'll have little random facts and Easter eggs that I've either researched or heard of when listening to commentary. And then, yeah, I'd like to hear you guys comment on it in the comments below afterwards. So let's get on with it. The first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Right, so the first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer starts out where Buffy is essentially coming to her new school. Her mum drives her into the school, and we don't start with her. We actually start with a random scene that is important, but we get another blonde character that opens up the scene. And this is it was a very cool thing, and it very set the tone for the entire show. There is this really pretty girl and this kind of creepy guy dressed in leather, and they break into a school, and she was like, should we really be doing this? And he's just like, yeah, it's fine. He's acting all cool, and he's clearly the boss, and this is a show about vampire. He's clearly the vampire, and he leads her into further into the school. She can't really get out. You're like, oh no, she's gonna get killed. And then she's like, did you hear that noise? He's like, no, we didn't hear anything. So the camera follows his view, turns back. No, she's the vampire. He bites him, and that opens up the show. And it's a clear indication of the style in which the show goes. Is you think it's going to be cliche horror, when in fact it kind of flips the whole genre on its head. And it's a good scene that opens up and gives you straight away, look, we are not a typical horror fantasy kind of show. We're something a little different. Then we get our main character turning up at her new high school. And as she trods on and goes up, we then get a quick flash of one of our secondary characters, Xander Harris, who's on a skateboard, and he notices Buffy, loses concentration, bang, clatters. I'll get to a little fact about him in the later section. Yeah. So Buffy then goes in, and then we get a flash, and then she's in one of her lessons, and she's with Cordelia. No, did we get that first? Shut up. Yeah, we do. We get Cordelia, in which she's just a nice, rich girl who's trying to be nice to Buffy, and she's all genuine and happy and nice, and like, oh, this is alright. And then, after class, they walk off, and they meet our other secondary character, Willow Rosenberg, and Cordelia's horrible to her. She comments on how bad she dresses, and she's like, yeah, I don't like to mix these kind of people. Have you done it with watercolour? Go away now. And we get a feel of what Buffy's character's like, where she's like, ooh. She doesn't verbalise anything to Cordelia, but you can clearly tell she's uncomfortable with that. They then part ways because she's going off to the library to go get some books, because she's obviously joined in halfway through the year. And as she does, she clatters into a student, and her bag scatters. And a nice guy called Xander, so we meet back up with him again, helps her collect all her things. And they have a really awkward, fun conversation. This is fun because it's Xander, he's clearly into her, and he's trying to be all cool and talk to her, but he's muddling all his words up, and it's like, oh, Xander. And then she races off to the library. And she doesn't realise though, she left something behind. One of her stakes. And Xander's like, you left this? Oh, she's gone. Okay. We then see Buffy meet our third character. I would say they're kind of all the main. You've got Buffy, Willow, Xander, and Giles. They're kind of like the core of the series. But clearly it's Buffy's show, hence the name. And Giles is like, oh, Buffy Summers. She's like, how do you know my name? I've been waiting for you. Look. And he drops this big, massive, really cool looking book. It's a vampire on it. It's got all the wild, classic old school. And she takes one look at it and goes, I can do that. Nope. And runs out. And he's like, oh, okay. Never mind. We then get Buffy meeting Willow properly, and he's like, she's like, hey, you're Willow, and Willow's like, I'm sorry, I'll leave. And she's like, no, I need help. You're smart, I need help. And he's like, oh, but you're friends with Cordelia. And she's like, I'll be friends with both of you. She's like, no. And it's like, oh, Buffy doesn't get how social circles work. Aww. They then start to have a conversation. Then Xander turns up, and you find out Xander and Willow are friends, and also their additional friend, who is Jesse. And yeah, we'll get to Jesse, but he's he thinks he's cooler than he actually is, because they're having a cool discussion. Then Cordelia comes over and goes, "Oh, don't worry about going to gym, because they found a dead guy in a locker." And he's like, "Oh," and she starts asking Cordelia, like, "How did he die?" "I don't know. Did he have bite marks?" Ah, no, I'm not morbid. Oh, you're weird. And then just before she walks off, Jesse's like, hey, Cordelia, yeah. And she's like, And then Buffy runs off and leaves everyone alone. She then goes to the locker room where the dead guy is, and we find it's the dead guy that we saw right at the end of the episode. And yeah, he's got 2 bite marks, and she's like, oh, damn. That's not good. Scene flashes, she's then back at the library, and she starts basically having a go at Giles. Like, I can't believe this, there's bloody vampires here. And Giles is like, oh, okay. Will he turn? No, because in order for vampires to turn in this universe, she doesn't say the universe, but in order for vampires to turn in this universe, you gotta drink their blood, they gotta drink your blood, you gotta do the whole blood mixing thing. It's kind of weird. He's like, oh, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure he's dead. And then they have a little bit of an argument, because she's like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be a vampire slayer anymore, I just want a normal life. And he's like, it's your destiny, you have to do this. Tra la la, the kind of thing that you usually see in these shows. And then she storms off. And then before the scene ends, the camera flashes to the back of the room where the stacks and where all the books are. And Xander pops his head out and he's like, what? And the scene flashes and Buffy's now at home. And she's trying on outfits and clearly setting up she's going to go to the nightclub called The Bronze that Cordelia spoke about earlier when they had a conversation. And her mum's like, oh, I seem to be really fitting in here. And Buffy's clearly like, not really. But seems to be hiding things, so it kind of indicates that her mum doesn't know about her being this vampire slayer. So then it goes to the Bronze, but before she can get to the Bronze, we meet our other character, our additional character that's in it at times and kind of not in it, kind of becomes the main character. My favourite character in the entire show, who got his own spin-off show we'll talk about later. Angel. Now Angel is the cool, mysterious, clearly going to hook up with the main character type. And he starts following her around, follows her down her alleyway, and then she gets a jump on him, doing a cool Batman flip thing, holding on to some bar that just happens to be in an alleyway. And he's like, I'm a friend. And she's like, It's like, you gotta be careful, the harvest is coming. And there is some real evil here on the mouth of hell. It doesn't say hell mouth, it says the mouth of hell. Too cool to say hell mouth. And before she walks off, he's like, take this, it will protect you. And it's a cross. And she's like, okay. And then he skulks off into the night. She then makes it to the Bronze, and she bumps into Willow. He's like, hi! And he's like, oh, hi! And you can see clearly Willow's just kind of uncomfortable. She's there anyway, and she's like, what are you doing here? I'm waiting for Xander. Oh, are you and Xander a thing? No, we were. And Buffy's like, oh, what happened? He stole my Barbie. It's like, what? We were 6. Oh. Again, it's Whedon's kind of thing. I didn't do that any justice. I butchered those lines. When the show does it, it's Whedon's way of having conversations. And it's cute and beautiful. And if you've seen things like the Avengers 1 and Avengers Age of Ultron, you kind of get the kind of gist of the way that Whedon likes to write characters. It's always fun. And then she looks off into the distance, up on a balcony. This club's got like 2 levels and big, massive open space. It kind of looks like a warehouse that's been converted into a club. Very deliberately done. And she's like, I'll be back. And Willow's like, you don't have to be. And she's like, no, I will be back. Clearly shows that Willow's not expecting any friendships from this. She pretty much accepts that her, Xander and Jesse are kind of the loners of the school. She goes and she sees Giles, who's at the club. He's like, hi, I met your friend. And he's like, what? What friend? The one, the sexy yet kind of creepy, I don't like him kind of guy. And he's like, I don't know. Told me about a thing called the Harvest. And he's like, excuse what? Ooh, what's this? The Harvest? What? And warned me about some evil thing. Oh. We need to prep for this. You need to start honing your skills. You're a vampire slayer, so you should be able to detect vampires. And know, even though they haven't got their scary face on, you know that they are vampires. hone your skills, focus. Kind of like Ben Kenobi talking to Luke Skywalker. Focus, use the Force, Buffy. And you think that she's gonna close her eyes and deep focus, and so she goes, that one! And he's like, what? How do you know? Just like, look at his dress sense. He's dressed really badly for this decade, totally out of place. And just look at the way he's got his sleeves rolled up, he's got his collar wide open, he's a vampire. And he's like, and Giles is just like, you didn't hone your skills there, how do you know it? And then Buffy's like, oh no, she's talking to Willow. And then races off. She then finds a chair leg, she snaps it, turning it into a stake, and she's going on a prowl. She's going to find the vampire. And she hears a noise, she turns around, grabs the person, turns out it's Cordelia, and she almost stabbed it, and Cordelia's like, what the hell? You freak! And she's like, I'm sorry. And then runs off. And Cordelia's like, oh my god, I'm going to have to talk to everyone that I've ever met about this horrible incident. Pulls out her massive 90s phone and starts dialing. We then flash back, and Buffy's met Giles again. And Giles is like, wow, that was quick. I didn't find him. What, you didn't kill the vampire? What? I couldn't find him. I'm still looking, right? Oh, Buffy, you gotta be careful, you gotta be careful. Shut up, need to go find him. Races off, jumps out of the bronze, and she sees Xander. He's like, Xander, have you seen Willow? No. Well, why? She was talking to a guy. Oh, are you worried he's a vampire and you might have to stake him? And she's like, how does everyone know I'm a vampire slayer? Is it been written in a newspaper or something? What? And he's like, oh wait, you're genuine. This isn't just some weird stuff. This is genuine. She's like, yes, I need to find Willow. Okay, let's go. We then flash, and Willow's being led towards a cemetery by the creepy guy who we're like, yeah, he's pretty much a vampire at this point. We pretty much know this. And he's being like, no, let's go this way. But the ice cream parlor's that way. I know, shortcut. Leads her into what are they called? What, mausoleums? Mausoleums is what they're called, isn't it? Yeah, mausoleums. And he's like, and now we feed. Essentially, he's being very cliche, vampire style. Then the blonde from earlier turns up, and she's like, oh, you brought some food. And the guy's like, huh? Didn't you? Oh, I had a snack on the way. And stumbles Jessie, massive bite mark. She's like, give me a massive hiccup. I don't know why I did that accent. Massive hiccup. And stumbles in, and she's like, yeah. And Willow's like, Jessie, let's go. And Diana's like, not until we feed. And we have really bad, because it's the first episode and they haven't quite got it down, transition from a normal, cute high schooler face to vicious demon vampire face. And the makeup's really good, it's just the transition from blank to vampire hadn't smoothed it out yet, so it looked kind of It's like, uh-oh. But then Buffy gets there and she's like, hi, I'm Buffy. I'm going to talk to you in a really silly way because you don't know I'm a vampire slayer, do you? And that's kind of the way Buffy talks to all the vampires. It's like, hey, you don't know that I'm really strong, I'm not some high schooler. And Darla's like, we'll kill you. And she's looking at Buffy from the front, and Buffy's like, we can either do this the hard way, or, well, actually, we can just do this the hard way. There's going to be lots of swearing and blood, and fighting and violence. And as she's talking like this, the guy about vampires right behind her back again. She sticks the stake straight into him. He's like, falls backward and explodes in the dust. So that's how vamp dies in this universe. They explode into dust, so the vampire bodies are never found, and everyone's still blissfully ignorant. And she's like, and Darla, who's the blonde vampire, is like, yeah, it's fine, because he was young and stupid. I would kill you. And then Buffy clearly gets the upper hand. It's like, yeah, you don't understand, do you? I'm trying just to have a normal life, and grabs a pot off the side and slaps her in the head with it. It's like, why won't you just leave me alone? Do you not know who I am? And as she's about to say it, she gets chucked across the room by Luke. And I forgot to mention that we met Luke earlier in the episode, and he is praising at first to this pool of blood. You're like, okay, and he's like, sleep or awake. The sleeper will wake. The sleeper will wake and the earth will bleed. And then we get another scene later on. It turns out that he worships this really scary looking vampire. He's always got a vamp face on. And yeah, he's like, soon the horrors will begin. You will be in full power, master. And the master's like, I hope so. And he runs his hand across some invisible force field that indicates that the master can't get out of where he is, setting up big conflict at the end of the season. And then, obviously, we'll go back to where we were. I'm sorry, I totally forgot about the whole loop thing. It's really quite cool aesthetically as well. And he's like, you do not know I am, child. And Buffy like kicks him and he's like, yeah, Buffy, get him. And then he's just like, yeah, no. Chucks her across the room. Buffy hurts herself. And she's like, oh. All dazed and like trying to get away. And then he gets her and puts her inside next to the skeleton in the mausoleum. It's like, and it seems like it's gone. It's like, she goes to get up and he jumps in after her and he's like, goes to bite her. End of the episode. Part 1 anyway. And the pilot broke down into 2 parts. I haven't watched the second half because that's going to get involved into the second video. Because this one is just giving you a feel and an idea of how the show is going to go. So, yeah. First episode of Buffy. Clearly sets up everything that is needed in order for you to get a taste and a feel for how the show goes. And I say it's awesome. It does enough to make you wonder whether anyone's really safe in the show, who could be a vampire, who's not. Like, Buffy, even though she's got all these cool superpowers, the responsibility aspect isn't really there, but she still gets the job done in a peppy kind of way of, yeah, I'm awesome! But at the same time, I clearly don't want to do this. And yeah, it's fun because you've got all the kids that will slowly learn about the darkness, and yet most of the adults are like, no, I don't know what this stuff is. And that's the first episode. Now we'll get on to my thoughts. Okay, so in this portion of the video, we're going to be talking about my thoughts in more depth, and yeah, I'm going to give you my opinion on the first episode of Buffy. When I first watched Buffy, it was way back when I was wee nipper, like 10, even though I really shouldn't, but my mum was really into it, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. Vampires. It's kind of what made me fall in love with vampires was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar. I loved it. And yeah, it was, at the time, it was a classic 90s show. It was fun. It didn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, kept itself within its boundaries, and you were able to grasp and get hold of it. And yeah, and I didn't actually watch this first episode straight away. My mum had already started watching the show, and I was just catching bits every now and again. So it was very nice to recently just watch the pilot from the beginning and then slowly absorb the show chronologically. And yeah, it's fun. When you already know the show and then you watch it back, you're like, oh, we were smart. Like with the whole Darla and the boy right at the beginning. And he clearly wants you to think that Darla's the innocent girl who's going to get bitten and fed on, and he's the vampire. And it's very fun. As it goes on, you get the Angel character. I don't really want to say stuff about him because we're only in the first episode. But yeah, it's fun. It is dated. There's a line in it where Cordelia's quizzing Buffy on what's cool at the moment, and she turns around and goes, James Spader, and she's like, oh, I want to marry him. And it's like, really, James Spader? Like, yeah, he's good and everything, but what? James Spader? And now I looked up, I'm like, Jesus, wow. James Spader had hair back in the 90s. Okay. And then Cordelia pulling out her big mobile phone. It's like, yeah, this show does show its age. Wow. But it's still fun. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend, I want you guys to, kind of the way I wanted to do this, is I want you to go watch the episodes as well. Is as I'm going through them, I want you guys to run alongside me. So now I've done the pilot, please go back if you get a chance, anywhere. Netflix did have Buffy on, and I recommend you, if it's still on there. No, finished, didn't it? Ooh. You should be able to get at least the first couple of seasons quite cheap these days. It is a very old show now. I recommend if you can, go get it, start watching it, and enjoy this watch through with me. Yeah, first episode, there isn't too much to gauge. So yeah, go see it. It's a little dated, but it's fun. It's all over the place with the genre, but it works. Do it. And we're going to our final part. Facts and Easter eggs. For this part, I've got lots of things written down. There's lots. I was listening to the commentary by Joss Whedon, the creator. I was like, oh, that's fun. That's fun. That's fun. I'm going to try and go in order of the stuff, so it's not all over the place. Hopefully. Here we go. Alright, so as I said before, as the episode opens, we have Xander Harris, and he's on a skateboard. This is actually one of 2 times Xander Harris ever uses a skateboard. And I thought maybe it's just, I didn't want to be cool anymore, but it turned out that because they realistically couldn't do it, the way the lighting would work for being able to get him on the skateboard going down, and safety issues and everything, they were like, no, can't do that, we're going to do it once. And then they were like, for continuity's sake, we'll do it a second time. Well, that was it. The whole show itself is actually filmed in a warehouse. The Bronze, which is the club that they use throughout the series, is actually the same warehouse that they use for all their filming. And yeah, like this whole shot, there's the corridor that you see, which is most of Sunnydale.1 hallway, it's the only one they have for the school. It's the only one. But the way they do it in so many different angles and positions, it's like, wow, you really feel they've got multiple areas of this school. Like, I thought they actually had a school, because the show opens up and you see Sunnydale High School on the outside. It's like, oh, they actually got like a whole school for this. No, it's just one corridor they use from multiple different angles. And they also have a set for the library. And then whenever they have to use Bronze, they actually do film the Bronze. It's really quite clever, and it kind of made me go, oh, well, that's fun and clever, really clever. When you watch the show, you don't expect it to be such little amount of sets, because they had to work on almost a zero budget. Because I can't remember which station they was on, but they were just like, we're not sure about you yet, so not getting much of a budget. And actually, the first 12 episodes, the whole first season that we're going to be going into in the next 4 episodes, was all filmed before the show was aired. And so, yeah, they laid it all out, it all was set and ready, so if it didn't get picked up, there'd only be the 1 season of Buffy. Luckily, we got 7. Yay! What's next? What else do we have on here? My notes are awful. Yeah, there was an idea that the Jessie character, because spoiler alert, don't want to hear this. Jessie's going to die in episode 2. And the idea initially was to actually have him in the opening credits. So for the first 2 episodes, you have Jessie there. And then they killed Jessie off in the second episode, and it's like, oh, does this mean anyone that's in the opening credits can die? And that was Joss Whedon's original idea, was to have it so the audience would never know who was actually going to live and die. I thought would be beautiful. But because of time restraints, they weren't able to reshoot the opening credits, because they must have already shot it beforehand. And that's a big thing, from what I hear from the entirety of the first episode, is Joss Whedon saying time and time again in the commentary, constant issues. Like, there were times when Sarah Michelle Gellar, he felt that she was too angry in a lot of her scenes. So after they filmed all 12 episodes, they then went back and had to rewatch the way that she did the scenes, and then has to do it in a more calm way. And then chop the two halves of the reshoots together so they fitted. The scene where Giles and Buffy are arguing about her destiny, half of that is from back when the show was first being filmed, and some of it's from after the 12 episodes. You wouldn't know. She does a magnificent job of it. Oh yeah, there's the other time that it happened that I remember him saying in the commentary, when Buffy jumps Angel in the alleyway. The bit where she's standing up talking to him is shot at a different time to when he's lying on the floor and he's getting back up. Again, seamlessly done. While we're on the subject of Angel, David Bauer, I'm probably butchering his last name badly, Bauer, the guy who played Angel, just wasn't sold on him. He did a reading and he thought he was alright, he was fairly good, yeah, but it wasn't until he asked his female cast and they were like, no joke, that's what he says, and he's like, oh well, we need a heartthrob in this. Alright then, we'll have him. And it turned out he was a great addition to the show. Yeah, so bronze, Sam should go always angry. And last of all, something that you'll notice if you are watching the show with me is the way the vamp faces evolve over time. Whedon was saying this, that when he first started, they were very demonic faces, very pale, and that's how it initially worked. But because vampires, some of them became main characters, and we got to a point where you kind of wanted to humanise even the vampire face a bit, so they toned it all down. Something I'm going to look out for in this run through. I didn't realise that was something that happened. I thought they kept it all the same all the time. The only thing I noticed got better is the transitioning from human to vamp. Better. You can still tell it's green screen, because it's an early show and it's a bit, but yeah. That, guys, is the first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Part 1. We'll call it first episode. Hope you've enjoyed this video. And I know it's a little different and it's long, but this is something I kind of want to do. I really enjoyed doing the lecture chat-abouts from the Saw Saga. If you haven't already seen them, go check them out. And I thought, yeah, theories aren't coming to me as much. The TV shows aren't setting my brains off. When Westworld comes back, I'll probably be firing off theories about that. But at the moment, we're kind of at a point where TV shows, they're not really having me heavy theorise. So I need something else that I enjoy doing. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. So let's chat about if you guys did watch them. So yeah, this is something I'm going to be doing for a while. As I say, when theories come to me, they will be added to the channel. But this is going to be the new norm. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode. And if you've watched Buffy, hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Tell me what your favourite episode is. If there's a TV show you want me to do, let me know. As long as it fits in the fact it's not too new and it kind of came out in the last decade or the decade before. I am going to be planning on doing Angel after Buff, called the same time as Buffy. Planning on doing Battlestar Galactica, Fringe, Lost. Lost I'm probably going to do in a different way because of the fact that it's so long and there are episodes where things don't really happen much. So I might do that as a season break, each season being a breakdown. Lost is an effort. But anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this video, hit that like button as well. Leave a comment, tell me what you think of the episode, if you're looking forward to more episodes, and which is your favourite Buffy episode. And if you haven't already guys, please subscribe to this channel. Subscriber count is rising slowly and it's awesome, and I'm like, oh my god, people are actually enjoying my content. If you have already subscribed, bring a friend, see if they want to come and watch some of my stuff. And as always guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye!